This is Josiah Plays Dungeons & Dragons. This is Beneath the Yawning Portal, Dungeon of the Mad Mage, a 5th edition heavy RP campaign. With me are some of my players, Manda, Nox, and Scito. Will be joining us later, and Tiff will probably not be joining us tonight. So, we'll begin, as usual, with the recap. Let's check the party notes. The recap for session 21. Do you want to read it, Nox, or not?
I'm fine with reading it.
Alright, go ahead.
Having completed their rest, Roscoe skulked over to the corpse of the hulking queen and employed all his roguish charm to unlock her heart with his thieves' tools, extracting it with a surgical precision on par with Azar's harvesting of intellect devourer glands. Midge wondered, with the queen now heartless, it might not be restored by anyone entering the necrotic area on the ceiling. Roscoe suggested burning the rest of it, but Sardick reminded them that Morn Blackwell's wife's wedding ring was surely nearby, which they might want to find first. He started searching the rubble piles to see if the ring was in any of them, but found nothing. Roscoe continued his efforts on the creature, efficiently dissecting the tentacles and beak. As he worked, he realized that the rubble piles weren't the waste matter of the creature, and surmised that even when it was fighting, it was in a sort of proto-undead state. Its automatic body processes weren't really functioning as it relied fully on the necrotic field to sustain it. With this idea, he sliced down along its digestive tract, spilling bones and rotting semi-digested matter on the floor, along with a few dozen platinum pieces, and eventually the wedding ring that Morn sought. Returning to the secret door to tell the others about it, they noticed Azar and Ara staring at the silver dragon scale as if hypnotized by it, but knew from prior experiences that it was Valgara settling in between them, not quite able to lock on to one of them and let her voice be heard. As the rest of the party praised Katrin on her fighting so well against the boss as a Tyrannosaurus, Sardick returned to the ceiling and paced back and forth, considering the situation. Roscoe offered to use his mage hand to take the items he could without Sardick needing to enter the necrotic zone. Sardick agreed, but even as he spoke, he realized that the necrotic zone was coming from the throne, not the Minotaur. Thinking further on the results of the augury, Sardick considered that what might have been meant by taking all the items was more than what he originally thought. Stretching and mentally bracing himself to enter the zone, he had the notion that for a moment the Minotaur was looking at him and sensed a sadness in his gaze. This confirmed his thoughts, and he knew what had to be done. Stepping purposefully into the necrotic field, he approached the throne and noted with passing interest that the great axe he picked up at its feet was virtually weightless, and he easily stowed it on his belt. As he felt the energy of decay and darkness eat at him, he walked right up to the Horned King. Instead of going for the gemmed eyes, however, Sardick embraced him, and with effort pulled him free from the throne, setting him over his shoulder like party members and dead nobles he was intent on rescuing. He walked out of the necrotic area and bore the mummified Minotaur down to the floor, propping him up on the wall. The wrappings began to unravel once it was freed from the necrotic area, and once on the floor, the body began to disintegrate. Sardick gently cupped the hoofed king's head as he saw him look up to him in gratitude, and bade him peace in the afterlife before all that remained were the 2 rough-cut gems in his hands. Returning to the rest of the party by the secret door, Roscoe appraised the gems and offered to stow them in the bag of holding, which Sardick agreed to after seeing there was otherwise nothing special about them. Midge laid a consoling hand upon Sardick and handed him a healing potion, but he was too lost in his thoughts to realize he was significantly injured by his time in the necrotic zone, and put it away instead. Katrin, after verifying Sardick was okay, asked why he took the entire Minotaur instead of just the gem eyes, to which he tried to explain how it was looking at him in desperation, and that his actions finally allowed it to find rest. He went off on a bit of a religious tangent about it possibly being an avatar of Hathor's son, and was thusly doubly compelled to help, but Katrin didn't understand his references and was simply happy everything worked out. Her gaze fell upon the axe with a shadowy blade, and the two of them took practice swings through the air, marveling at the feel of a weightless large weapon as it slashes through the air. Midge, hearing the sobbing coming from the door again, opened it and stepped inside. Roscoe sent Nevermore ahead as he followed Midge, with the rest of the party behind. They went through another roughly hewn passage before entering a more normal one. Midge attempted to continue stealthily behind Nevermore, but kicked a loose stone which clattered down the passageway. There was little danger, however. Advancing further, she came upon the door where the sobbing was originating, and called through the door that they were here to help. The sobbing continued for a few more seconds before its owner sputtered in disbelief and started yelling out if anyone was there, and burst through the door. Before her stood a thin, dehydrated, rascally fellow. Midge offered him a moldy goodberry when he begged for food and water, which he took with skepticism, but ate anyway, suddenly feeling refreshed and reinvigorated as he continued chatting to Midge, getting verification that the Grix and any other monsters weren't lurking just outside. Asking him what he was doing down here, he explained that he was with an adventuring party that broke apart, and he set off on his own but became trapped by the Grix and hid in the room, using all his rations and water while waiting for an opportunity to escape. After bonding over a spit handshake, Midge motioned for the rest of the party to come up, which they did. Roscoe, having observed through Nevermore, recognized him by the description of Kaleem the Weasel from the Fine Fellows of Daggerford, and served him his summons. Kaleem babbled about his being ignorant of the crime, that had happened before he joined the group, and he didn't want to be lumped in with their transgressions. Sardick serenely bade him to be at peace, reminding them that if he truly didn't do anything wrong, then he has nothing to fear. Roscoe added that Kaleem should really get back to the Yawning Portal for safety, as his weapons were lost, but he admitted that he didn't know the way. Roscoe gave him one of the blood-bespattered daggers from the Elder Grick fight, which earned him being a reluctant participant of a spit handshake, and they agreed to bring him to the Yawning Portal. Kaleem noticed Ara and Azar following along mutely, and was rather creeped out to discover that a spirit was with the party. Fearing a curse, he asked for them to take him quickly to the tavern. Katrin walked next to him to keep an eye on him, and she steadfastly denied his spit handshake in attempts to get to know her better. Sardick warned him that the spirit gets uppity when people flirt with Katrin, which got him to quickly stop, and so they left the Grick tunnels behind. However, they didn't leave the Gricks themselves behind, which were feasting on the goblin and bugbear corpses in the obelisk outpost. Roscoe snuck up and saw they were sufficiently distracted. Midge prepared to shift into a brown bear, and Kaleem wanted to stay in the back. Sardick offered to take him up to the wall for safety, but he didn't appreciate that idea. Nevermore watched Kaleem watch over Azar and Ara, further giving him the creeps. Even with only 4 party members fighting, they easily overcame the 6 Gricks and sufficiently harvested all their vocal cords. Kaleem finally recognized his surroundings as they entered the pillar room, and he gratefully gave Midge a spellbook he had found in the dungeon. And so, the party and Kaleem began the ascent into the tavern.
Alright. Alright, thank you. Good job, chronicler. So that was, what happened last time. And you guys are just, ascending back up to the Yawning Portal at this time. So, let's go ahead and move over to... Frostpice is well done yet again. Yes. Let's move over to the Yawning Portal. So you have arrived back in the Yawning Portal. No one seems terribly surprised to see you at this point.
They probably all think we're just sitting down at like the base and hanging out there and then coming back up like, hey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna beeline for the Drow, so I can get Varys.
All right,
Once I come to.
So Azar is going to come out of his trance, his Valgara-induced trance, and he's going to look around again, relatively surprised that his surroundings have shifted again. But he's going to is Kellum in sight?
Yeah, he's standing right next to you.
All right. Azar is going to go, "You motherfucker," and throw a punch at him.
Alright, Clem, hey, what? Roll the hit, I guess.
What should I roll? Guess dexterity?
Just strength.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's gonna be good.
You have advantage, though, because he's surprised.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's good.
Well, alright, you don't quite hit him, but he just sort of jumps back a little bit as much as he's able to on the little platform. And hey! What's going on? Something is happening. I think the spirit's taking control of him. He's acting crazy.
You little shit. You abandoned me in the dungeon.
Hey, you abandoned me. I was stuck hiding in this little room forever. I don't even know how long I've been there. I almost died of thirst.
You almost died of thirst. I was in a pit. A bloody pit.
Well, I mean, you seem to be fine now, so everything worked out.
I'm in women's clothing, and I'm absent of spellbook. Speaking of which, is he carrying my spellbook?
No, he gave a spellbook to... Who did he give it to?
Midge.
Hmm.
Assumedly,
Midge
it might be in Roscoe's bag by now, I'm not sure.
Midge, who has now become possessed by Valgara herself after Valgara left Ara and Azar, and is now currently possessing Midge and Roscoe. She seems to be holding a spellbook.
Is it my spellbook?
It doesn't look like your spellbook.
Where did you get that? Where did the spellbook come from?
I found it.
Alright. I vote that we immediately throw him back down the well, just like that noble.
Katrin's like, I'm not opposed to that idea.
No, we can't do that. Remember, he needs to be questioned by, by the ones that have appointed us to be subpoena bearers to bring it to the rest of the party.
Alright. Remember I was telling you I was abandoned in the dungeon by a certain fiend? This is the fiend that abandoned me.
He looks around all nervously. And then he leaps over the side of the top of the well and goes bolting towards the door.
Well, if you're gonna try that, you really gotta get more speed. You gotta get up to ramming speed. You ain't gonna bust through that way.
Everybody stops what they're doing in the tavern and watches this with great interest. As he just runs full speed and suddenly collides face first with the ward. Just boom! And he falls back down right on his back.
No, you gotta do it more with your head. Do it like the Wyvern Jack. You put your head down and you paw the ground and you just go full steam ahead. I mean, usually it's against a pillar, but still.
He seems to have dazed himself as he's laying there on the ground. There's various laughter in the tavern. Durnan says, maybe if you try it again, it'll work. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 tries. The Boys is good?
I'm not
yeah, I'm
opposed
gonna
to
watch
using
it.
him as a battering ram, seeing if we can break the wall down. Who wants to help me, hmm?
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's any consolation, I mean, just look at the state of him. You should have seen him when he came out of that door that was over by the area with the Gricks. It was just north of the room we were fighting, I believe. And, well, Midge had to give him a good berry just so he would really be able to kind of move around.
And I'm assuming my belongings are still nowhere in sight.
Well, that does seem to be the case.
You hear Durnan call out, "So it looks like these new adventurers are alright after all. They came back alive yet again. Mash, see if they want anything." So the half-ogre comes trundling over towards you, his heavy footfalls beating a heavy drum beat upon the floor. And he... "Hello! Welcome back to the Yawning Portal. Is there anything you need?"
My thanks. A fair bit of mead would do quite nicely.
"Oh, mead, it's an excellent choice. Very popular."
I'm just
What
gonna
about the rest of yous?
I'm just glaring silently at Callum.
He's still laying there on the ground, like, clutching his head.
I know what'll take care of this. Has your cook made any amazing culinary delights with the bounty of Hathor that I left him before we went down?
I don't know about that. Maybe I could go ask him.
Certainly. Maybe something steeped in cheesy goodness, perhaps.
Okay, we do got lots of cheese. So, Ara, are you trying to head up to where the Dark Elves are?
Yes, as soon as we got off the platform, I beelined it for them. Like, completely just did not even bother with the situation.
Okay, so you get up there, and they're not there at the normal table where they normally are. And looking around, you don't actually see them.
I start scurrying around, checking rooms.
Clearly, they've decided that the baby is an able member of their party and have decided to descend into Undermountain.
Yeah, they went down now that they got.
I mean, it wouldn't be his first time down there.
Maybe if they just go down enough, Halastra will show up and turn him into an adult.
You're like, how dare you bring a baby down here?
Alright, so you're looking through rooms, you find various ones, some are empty, some have people sleeping in them or just hanging out. And you do find a room that has the 3 drow in there with the baby.
Okay.
They all seem to be in this sort of reverie trance. The baby's just laying there sleeping.
I like to imagine as she was going through the rooms, she was like seeing strange things. Like she opens up one door and it's like that one scene from The Shining with the 2 dudes in animal costumes and whatnot.
I'm gonna go in. Do I see Varys?
Yeah, he's laying there sleeping, swaddled up in all sorts of blankets and stuff.
Alright, I'm gonna pick him up. I'm not gonna leave the room because I don't want to, like, alarm them, so I'm just pick him up and kind of sit in a corner.
Okay.
Is it just me or does Amanda sound like she's really far away from the mic?
Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
So after you take the baby, what do you do?
I just kind of sit in the corner with him. I don't want to leave the room because I don't want to like start like some sort of like uproar over like baby's gone and everyone goes running around looking like a crazy person. So I'm just gonna kind of sit in the corner and let them do their trance and kind of hold him and spend the time that I can with him.
Okay. Are you gonna wake the baby up, or just?
No, I'm just gonna hold him. I'm not gonna.
All right.
I'm not gonna try to like disturb them.
All right. He seems to be sleeping pretty peacefully. He doesn't wake up when you pick him up. Seems like he's gotten ever so slightly bigger than the last time.
Alright, and I'm gonna use the scale that I have. Do I still have it? I didn't lose it, right?
The scale, the big giant 40-pound scale that you and Azar were carrying it when you were possessed. When you both came to, I don't know what happened to it at that point.
Well, I would have just dropped it right there and have gone on my incredibly pathetic attempt to smack fucking Kellum. Goddamn.
So,
yeah, I would have ended up picking it up.
Damn
sort of
noodly arms.
drag it with you where you went to then?
No, I think I can actually carry it. I wrapped it in my bedroll and dropped almost everything out of my bag.
Oh, okay. So you've got it like sort of up on your back.
No, like I probably had it, like I wrapped it in my bedroll, and I would have been carrying it, like hugging it almost.
Oh, all right. Then you've got it, yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll put it on the floor before I pick up the baby, and then I'll use that as something to sit on.
Yeah, you feel a strange compulsion to meditate while sitting on the scale, but like direct skin contact to the scale, not with anything in between, no blankets or bedrolls or anything.
All right, so I would uncover it and do what I needed to do to have that contact with it. For me, it would just feel right.
Yeah, it feels very, very comfortable sitting like that. And, are you gonna meditate while holding the baby? You can.
Yeah, I would kind of sit like Indian style with him like in my lap and do that.
Alright, so you're doing that. What's everybody else doing?
Dunnan, what is your policy towards setting patrons on fire?
He says you see the rules on the wall there?
Let me check the rules.
Not the rules of pickpocket.
You'll be able to read the rules now. You know, they were in Elvish for a bit, but, you know, now they've got them back in a nice common, so it's sort of like, you know, every man's language.
Oh, there we are. Brawls are generally okay, but no weapons or destructive, well, just be wizardist, I guess. Oh, alright, what if, just saying here, what if he was set on fire by not magic?
I can't say I want any fires in here.
Okay, can I just throw him down the well then?
He takes a look at Kaleem. Sure. He looks back at you and says, sure.
Yes! Alright, gonna start dragging Kaleem over to the well.
Alright, what are you doing, Sardick?
Sardick will kind of see this beginning to happen, and he'll look around the bar and kind of see if Volo is there or Gillester Silvermane, anyone like.
Volo's there. You don't see Gillester Silvermane.
Sardick will go ahead and he'll approach Volo.
Ah! It is the friendly dwarf! Welcome! And he raises his arm in a sweeping gesture and immediately knocks over a bottle of wine, which starts spilling everywhere. Durham sighs loudly.
Well met, but you might want to be careful with that arm. You don't want to spill your drink everywhere. It's best to get it down the throat than on the floor.
Sometimes I think that I am cursed. These things just keep happening. I do not know why. It's a me, Volo! Volo Thamgadarm, famed writer.
I like how you slowly morph into like more just like a stereotypical Frenchman.
I feel that's more Italian, like Mario Brothers.
True.
And then the flaming skull is more Frenchman.
Yeah, he kind of straddles.
I don't judge Wasabi. Me and him, we're cool. We have an understanding that many campaigns.
You'll be pleased to know that we were able to serve another subpoena to one of the fine fellows of Daggerford. We even got him back up the well here, but it seems that there's a little bit of a kerfuffle on the side here. And he's just going to kind of point over to where Kaleem has rammed the ward, and that Azar is trying to grapple him and drag him down the well.
I don't understand what you mean, exactly. But you should try some of these wine. It's a very fine vintage.
Fine vintage, you say? Well, far be it from me, and if he's got a cup available or such, Sardick will gladly take that up, and he'll go ahead and down it.
Alright. Yeah, he pours you some. What happened to your little friend? The one, he looks around, he sees Roscoe and Midge, who are both in the dazed state of being passively possessed.
Yes. You can go ahead.
You see, oh, not Obaya Ude. You see, Danae of Alagon, the one who sold you the Codex Monstrum.
Mm-hmm.
Walk up to the balcony up on the second tier, and she just looks down and just stares very intently at Midge. And suddenly Midge just kind of like shakes her head and blinks and looks around, and it's clear that she's no longer possessed, and she just walks up there. And then you see the two of them talking about something. Meanwhile, Roscoe continues to just kind of stand there. Not knowing what to do because he's
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. You took the midnight train going anywhere.
D&D is
Exactly what I was
canceled in
gonna
lieu of karaoke night.
Nice.
Nice.
That music
So-
speaks.
You're actually trying to drag Kaleem the Weasel, who is now kind of still trying to come to his senses. You're trying to drag him to the well?
Yes, I am trying to drag him to the well.
Alright.
It's so my country may be free. Bonus points to whoever gets the reference.
So you're doing that. He's now struggling and trying to put up a fight. Make a strength check.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Yeah, here we go. Gonna just the old gun show here. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Somehow you
Oh.
rolled lower than last time. How is that
Yeah,
possible?
There we go. There we go. Mmm.
Yeah, you're struggling and you're not really getting him moved anywhere at this point. It's kind of turning into a shit show. People are watching. Hey, who drew those X's over Maloon's eyes?
I did that way back when we killed him. I did that way back.
I didn't ever notice it before. He is dead, though. It's true.
Unless he's resurrected by now.
Well, you don't see him.
Okay.
So you're struggling to do this. It's the two of you are just struggling against each other. It's not going very well.
Go down the well. You are a bastard and should go down the well.
He's like, hey! He's kind of coming back to his senses a bit now. Why would you want to throw me down the well? Huh?
Again, abandon me. You, asshole.
Look, you abandoned me just as much as I abandoned you.
How does that work? I was being surrounded by enemies. You fled.
We
I was
both... We were both getting surrounded by enemies, and we just got split up by too many enemies. It could happen to anybody.
Yes, it could happen to anybody. Anybody who was working with a coward. Like you. Oh. And very, very tempted to use destructive magic right now, but we'll respect rules of tavern.
Come on, things happen. It's all over now. You're fine. I'm fine.
Do I look fine to you? Again, women's clothing.
Well, I think it's pretty flattering on you, really.
I hate you so much. And
I'm not even there and I want to punch this guy in the face.
I'm just gonna let go of him and I'm just gonna go sit down at a table with a big huff.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go up to Volo's table and see if he has any drinks. Like, does he have any just open bottles of liquor around him?
Oh yeah, several. Good
Alright,
shit
I'm
too.
gonna grab one and just start guzzling it.
You even see a rare Halruan wine.
Alright. Pour a bit out for my homies. Drink the rest.
Hey, help yourself and just enjoy it. Volo has all the best things, likes to share.
Sardick will nod to Azar as he comes up and kind of turn back to Volo and say, "Oh, as I was saying, we brought one of the fine fellows of Daggerford up, and I noticed that Gillester Silvermane isn't around, but just to sort of be aware, just in case he, has a strong reaction, over the whole potential killing of the boyfriend and, all that sort of stuff.
Yes, you're going to have to talk to Jalester about that. I think he's laying down in one of the back rooms, Not everyone can party all the time like me, Volo.
Yeah, that's true. It does take quite a strong constitution to be able to handle so much drink.
It is one of the many things I am known for. He's all proud of himself. He goes to take a drink and sloshes onto his shirt as he sort of misses his mouth because he's trying to make too grandiose of a gesture.
It's a shame they don't have the, sort of one of those nice enchanted dwarven tankard sets, one of the ones that stays fixed to the table until you get a good grip of the handle. It just comes right off, just pops right off when you do.
Yes, that would be good. So, Mash, the half-ogre, comes over, thump, thump, thump. He's got a tray with a big pitcher of mead and a tankard and a platter with what looks like basically a fried cheese on it. And he thrusts it out in Sardick's direction. There you go. This should be good.
Thank you kindly. And Sardick will take it and set it in front of him. This smells excellent.
Enjoy. Thank you for patronizing the Yawning Portal.
Yes, and peace be with you.
Oh, okay. Thanks, you too. So Vic has come over after Durnan has kind of snapped his fingers and pointed, and he's there kind of cleaning up some of the spilled wine and such. He doesn't say anything.
Sardick will kind of, take appraisal of him for just a moment, his recognition that he's there before, having a bit of the mead and just verifying that the fried cheese is cool before setting into it.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Did you get a slice of pickle on top of it?
No pickle.
Bastards.
It's alright, we already were a pickle in the dungeon. It's had quite enough of a pickle there.
That sounded almost scandalous.
In a sense, it did.
You see Mert at the bar, and he sends the boy to Farah over to Roscoe, and is tugging on Roscoe's sleeve, and Roscoe's just standing there. He kind of just turns his head very slowly, with his eyes are all blank and white, and gazes upon the boy, but he shows no reaction. He's still standing over there, by the well.
Barzul, you'd think if Danae could break Valgora's hold over one of them, you'd think she'd break it over the other, but I suppose that's too much to ask around here. And Sardick will, after finishing the bite of cheese and licking off his fingers, he'll go ahead over to the well and he'll give Tefera a nod there, and he'll go ahead and grasp Roscoe around the waist there and kind of take him over to the table.
Okay. He doesn't say anything.
Yeah, he'll go ahead and sort of sit him into a seat kind of thing, just sort of...
Tefera says, "Hey, I don't know what's wrong with your friend, but Mert wanted to talk to him."
He seems to be a bit engrossed in the spirits for a moment. Not the liquor spirits, but, the spirit.
He just kind of cocks his head and screws his face up, like, looking at you, like, I don't know what that means.
Well, the spirits, creatures that aren't visible, but they're there.
How you know they're there if you can't see them?
Well, you can just sense them, and you can see proofs, like this.
He looks very skeptical. Looks at Roscoe, looks at you. Whatever.
It's the same kind of... Yeah, it's the same kind of thing, like when you hear a voice and you turn around but no one's there. Same kind of thing.
I guess. Alright. Well, bye then. He goes back over to Mert.
Peace be with you.
Ara feels this great sort of sense of contentment come over her, like a feeling of belonging, like she's where she's supposed to be.
Ever.
What?
I said for the first time ever.
Yeah, basically, it's like it's a comforting feeling that she's not used to.
It's like a Hathorian blessing.
It's like even as you're holding the baby in your arms, you feel as though you're almost being held like a baby in someone else's arms.
I kind of like... happy.
And there's a strange tingling sensation on your skin. It feels nice. It doesn't feel bad, but it's a little bit weird. You've never felt anything quite like it before.
There's kind of a...
So, what are you doing now, Azar?
Well, upon finishing my drink, I'm going to, I don't know.
Have some of this fried cheese if you like. It's quite delightful. It kind of reminds me of my time with the Gladdenbergs.
All right, I will take the fried cheese.
Alright, it tastes like it was some pretty bland cheese, but it's been very nicely spiced up by, a skilled cook.
Thank you.
Yes, the use of a little bit of curry, I think. It really curries favor with the cheese, and the way it sort of tingles on the palate. It's quite delightful.
Oh, Sardick.
You can really tell that the cook kind of spent his time working on it.
God damn it.
Spent his time. Yes, he did. Olo says, "Ah, eating cheese. Rookie mistake. It takes up room in the stomach. It could be used for more wine."
Still, one must not forsake the dairy delights that are present with us within the world. You know, it sort of helps foster a harmony with the universe.
Well,
You know,
that does make it sound very good.
you know what? That gives me a wonderful idea. And I'm going to cast Polymorph at Kellim.
Okay, what are you gonna polymorph him into?
I'm going to polymorph him into a cow.
Okay. Wow, a cow.
Wouldn't that be magic?
Well, it's not destructive magic.
The cows.
What?
I said the cows.
Alright, so he must make a wisdom saving throw, eh?
Yep, there we go.
Well, he didn't make it.
No, he did not.
So, all of a sudden, Kalim's form shifts and extends and grows and twists into a whole new shape. And after a few confused seconds of, "Hey, what?" there is a cow standing there where Kalim was before.
I feel better now. How about you, Sardick? Do you feel better now?
All this cheese is quite delightful, and all of a sudden his head will whip around and he'll turn and he'll see the cow there and go, but how did you got past the wards? I knew there was a way to get in. And Sardick will leap up from the table and he'll go over to the cow and, oh, you must be one of the Wyvern Jack steeds. You must have followed me all the way here, but why? What message do you have for me? Let me know.
He's just mooing. The cow seems kind of upset and like confused to you.
Have you come to bring these people extra reinforcements? Do you require milking? Is that what you want?
I'm just gonna look at Volo, nod, and just take another one of his things of alcohol and just start downing it.
Alright. He raises a glass to you in a toast, sloshing some of it onto the table.
Yep, here we go. Turning people into cows and drinking with Volo while dressed in women's clothing. This is exactly how I thought the adventure would go.
Exactly how he thought it would go. Darnan's laughing. So is Mert. Darnan calls out, "Now that is not against the rules. Unless you do it to me. Then it is."
Azar will just let out a hearty laugh and continue drinking.
However, if that thing takes a shit on the floor, you better clean it up.
Don't worry, we have someone in our party who can handle that. prestidigitation and all that.
You see Vic just looking at the cow, shaking his head. Why do I get the feeling that I'm going to be called upon to clean up cow shit before the night is through? I don't get paid enough for this shit.
Or that shit.
Yeah. The common room is actually fairly sparsely populated at the moment. You see a lot of the people that were here before aren't here currently. The rooms must be pretty full.
Yeah, I'm just content to watch this for a while.
Sardick is taken to thaumaturgying cow sounds in an attempt to communicate with cow.
I'm also taking joy in the pleasure in the simple joy I brought to Sardick. He asks for so little, and it's really the least I could do for him.
Alright, you guys have earned a point of inspiration for Cowleem the Weasel. It goes into the bank.
Excellent.
So, this is happening. Ara is still doing her thing. All of a sudden, a dwarven woman walks up and approaches and taps you on the shoulder, Sardick.
Sardick will turn around and, peace be with you. Good day.
It is this woman. She's very well dressed, but she also appears quite martially equipped. She's got a gleaming battle axe and warhammer, which appear to have been very well polished. And you saw her before way up on the 3rd tier, which is where she's been most of the time. But now she seems to have come down specifically to tap you on the shoulder. What did you say to her?
Good day. Peace be with you.
Aye, thanks. Same to you. You're the one
Sardick
they
takes
call
a
Sardick,
nod.
are you not?
Yes, that I am.
You're part of this band, this pun squad. Is that the name of your group?
Yes, I believe that's what we've chosen to call ourselves.
I never agreed to that.
Well, it's not a great name, honestly, but that does not mean you're not capable of great deeds. I hear that your group has had some success in Undermountain so far. Several successful trips, yes?
Yes, that we have.
She looks deep into your eyes as though considering you, as though trying to read who you are. And she looks over your clothes, your holy symbol. You are a religious man, are you not?
That I am. I wasn't always, but, well, as of this point in my life, I have indeed turned to faith as a sort of shield and guidance.
I would have words with you. Now come up to my table and speak with me, will you?
All right, fair enough. Yes, I'll head up with you.
Alright, so... She looks over, she sees Bonnie walking by, she catches her eye, she says, "Bring up more of whatever he was having, and more of my usual up to the table, please." And Bonnie says, "Of course." And, so she goes all the way back up to the third tier, where she has a large table. There's another guy sitting there, another dwarf, who is also sitting at that table. Actually, no, he's not there right now. You've seen another dwarf up there, sitting at that table with her, this guy, but he's actually not there right now.
Okay.
So, she sits down, motions to a seat.
Yeah, Sardick will go ahead and take a seat there.
And she thrusts her hand out towards you and says, "I'm Salona Malerkin."
Sardick will go ahead and clasp her hand and take a deep nod. Yes, pleased to meet you. Sardick Drizzlebeard is my name. Malerkin, you say, though?
Drizzlebeard, eh? I sailed on a Drizzlebeard ship once. 'Twas a fine vessel.
Yes, it is what we're known for.
Properly speaking, I'm Salona Shieldstar. You may have heard of the Shieldstar clan. Make a, history check. With advantage, because you're a dwarf. It sounds vaguely familiar, like you're pretty sure they're a famous clan for some reason, but you can't really remember any details.
Yeah, then the name does sound familiar.
Well, the Shieldstar's rule Sundabar, that's where I'm from. My mother is the ruler of the city. That makes me her heir, and as such I'm forbidden to go gallivanting off on any adventures into Undermountain. But I have great interest in what lies down there. I have taken up the name Malerkin myself, because my family are descended from the original Malerkins, those who have constructed so much beneath our feet.
Yes, you must definitely have a vested interest in what's below.
I want to know all of it. Everything that's below. I want to know every bit of construction, every bit of art, every artifact, relic, writings. I want to know all of it, and I want it all to be recorded. But I dare not defy my mother, so I will not go down myself. I've been waiting for a proper dwarf who seems honorable and capable, who is delving below. And that just might be you, Sardick.
Sardick gives a deep nod as he considers this, and yeah, I think I could definitely help you out with that. I mean, there's some of the stuff down there is Elvish, which it's not what I can read, but But otherwise, yeah.
I'm not interested in the elvish stuff. Only that which was done by my ancestors, the Malercan dwarves.
Excellent.
She looks at your holy symbol again. She says, I don't recognize that symbol. What faith do you follow?
It's the Hathorian faith. It's not common among our kind. I mean, I was really raised in the marauding chapters, but, I was sort of adopted by this deity after a certain calamity.
Very interesting. What? I confess, I have not heard of this Hathor. What are they about?
It's a sort of oneness and a general harmony with the universe. It's really toward the south that they, a lot of their faith is based, but it's a good sort. I was actually with the Gladenbergs. It's a certain halfling community that's all about Hathor for some time. It's the guiding voice of the mother, sort of a mother's protection, a mother's instinct. Just all that type of belonging and community and that feeling of oneness with yourself and your community, and then sort of the universe itself.
It does sound most unusual, but perhaps a source of goodness.
Oh, that it is, most definitely. I don't think I would have survived without it.
My grandfather, Coram Shieldstar, although he also took to calling himself Coram Malercan, he was a dwarf of faith as well, a priest of Dumathoin, keeper of secrets under the mountain.
Sardick nods vigorously, kind of recognizing it.
Yeah, Dumathoin's one of the classic dwarf gods.
Yeah, exactly.
And she pulls out from her pack this book. It's a small book, and it's looks like it's actually bound with thin stone plates. And it looks very old, but not in poor condition. Old but well preserved. Hey, by the way, welcome, Will.
Thank you.
Yes.
I have made
Hello.
it.
Welcome.
Your character is just kind of standing around, possessed, doing nothing in the middle of the tavern.
Sounds
I
good.
think he's sitting
there
at
is a-
Volo's table now. He was kind
There
of
is a
brought
cow near you. There's that.
Oh, did you guys set him down?
there. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, sort of picked him up by his waist there and kind of brought him over to the table and sort of half kind of pushed him into the seat and guided him in.
Okay.
Or he can just be standing there if that's not a thing that can work. But
No, he
that's
could be
fine.
sitting there. It's fine.
Okay.
He was pretty much passive, so he would have just kind of done whatever while he was briefly possessed. She says, "This is a journal. A magical book that has been passed down in my family for many generations. For those of the family who wish to know more about the ways of the Malercan, to study our ancestors, to learn of their culture and the things that they created. Those who have studied this have written down their observations within this book for hundreds of years." She opens it up and she starts flipping through the pages, and you see that each page is actually made of an incredibly thin slice of stone. but it's obviously been magically enchanted to move and bend like paper. And she flips through, and you see lots of writing in Dwarvish on different pages. She says, "The book is enchanted. It will never run out of blank pages. No matter how much is written in it, it will always hold more. My grandfather Coram, the priest of Dumathoin, wrote much in this book. He even recorded all of his prayers, his clerical magics within it."
Sardick nods as he's listening to this and sort of looking at the book interestingly, kind of watching the pages turn. And that's quite a mastercraft there.
It is. It is called the Malercan Chronicle. And now, I am looking for someone to go into Undermountain, where I cannot go, and chronicle the truths of my ancestors that exist in that place. In this book. Understand that I am not giving the book to you. I want it back when you are done. But I want you to take it and to write down everything that you find that is of our people.
Very well, very well. Yes, I would be quite happy to do such a thing.
I will pay you, of course, based on how much information you uncover. And as long as you continue to explore Undermountain, you may continue to keep the book with you. I believe if you are indeed a man of faith, that you may find it of benefit to you, due to what my grandfather Coram put into it.
Yes, I must admit I'm quite intrigued by what you've mentioned of his writings.
Well then, I pass the book to you, for now, to bear it until such time as you are finished with Undermountain. Record everything you can about anything belonging to the Malercans, created by the Malercans. If you find relics, if you find artifacts, if you find art or writings, anything, put it into the book.
Yes, I will definitely do so. That's yes, and I will make sure that this returns to you at the proper time.
Very well. I trust you. I sense that you are a trustworthy soul. I sense goodness in you.
My thanks. I believe you have chosen quite well. I will definitely make certain that everything about our people is indeed written here.
Now, tell me of your adventures in Undermountain thus far. I would hear your stories, if it is not too much trouble.
No, not at all. It has indeed been quite an adventure. I mean, every time we go down, there's always something new, something which you hadn't expected before. Even just sort of going down into the main room, there's a sort of a pillar room. There's just like a room with I want to say about 8 or so pillars on it that, going right up to the ceiling. And they're maybe not as quite as of late, but I know we've had to deal with a few different things in there. There's bugbears in there, and then carrion crawlers, all that sort of stuff. But always there were those pillars around in that particular section. Now, and a little bit beyond that, there was a fascinating thing where there's this sort of hole of mirrors, and you can see yourself kind of reflected in them. But if you go too far, it seems like it almost kind of reverses reverses yourself back upon you, and you kind of find yourself fighting your own shadows. It's a bit bizarre. And of course, there was there was a few statues down there. I helped rebuild one, actually. It was of 3 people. There was a human, and I believe a halfling, and might have been another human as well. And I remember it was sort of quite a bolstering feeling when I had gotten that statue back up. It was standing there, seeing it fully restored. It took a bit of effort, but we got to it. But then there was that other statue down there that didn't kind of fix that one. That was sort of a darker statue. It was I could feel a little bit sort of a serpentine design on it. It just reminded me a little bit too much of Set.
Hey, Splode and Amaranth, how you guys doing?
And then, of course, there was that obelisk. There was a few of my party members were touching it, and got some interesting information from it. But it seemed like once you touched it too many times, it actually just drew the life right out of you. Just sucked it right out.
So she looks very interested in your stories. More meat and food is brought up to the table. And she basically just keeps you up there asking you lots of questions and listening to all your tales of Undermountain for quite a while. If you choose to stay and tell her everything she wants to know.
Yeah, he would stay there and definitely kind of converse with what he's seen and that kind of stuff. I'm sure he would get into the Grick, the gigantic Grick, and the throne on high and all that sort of stuff. And, of course, the elaborate map room and that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she wants to know about all of it. So, you now have an item, which you should write down, called the Malerkin Chronicle. So one thing it'll do is it will simply allow you to record. It actually comes with its own stylus, which you can use, which as you draw the stylus across the paper, it automatically engraves it into the stone pages.
Ooh, okay. I was wondering how you could inscribe in that. I was thinking like chisel or something.
Nah, so you don't need to use ink or anything.
Excellent.
And you can write as much in there as you want, and it'll never run out of pages. And you can also sort of just concentrate on what you want to find in there, and it'll you can automatically just flip to that page if there's something specific that's already written in there that you know about.
Interesting.
But beyond that, it also contains every cleric spell from level 1 to 6 are written out in a sort of magically prescribed form, almost like a spell book for wizards, even though clerics don't use spell books. But by using this book, if you are holding the book in one hand, you can spend an action to change any prepared spell you have for any other prepared spell that you could put in that slot.
Wow. Okay.
And you can do it as often as you want.
Wow.
So yeah, make sure you're writing these things down. And then in addition to that, it has one further property. Once per day, or once per long rest, you can cast a spell from the book. You have to be holding the book in both hands. So you can't have anything else in your hands. But you can cast a spell from the book without using up a spell slot of your own, including the 6th level spells that are in there.
Okay. All right. Excellent.
So there you go. And this does not require attunement.
Wow, that is awesome.
It can only be used by a dwarf.
Okay.
So she just keeps you up there, continuing to talk to you and ask you questions for a good while, and drinking and everything. She's very friendly. She seems happy to have met you. Alright, let's come on back to Will, since Will has joined us now. Welcome. Welcome. What? So, you kind of come to, and you've been possessed by Valgara before, right?
I'm sure. Yes, I definitely have.
Alright, so you recognize the feeling of having lost a little bit of time. You're not sure how much time you've lost, but you're standing in the Yawning Portal. The first thing you notice is that there is a cow standing there in the Yawning Portal.
Roscoe is like taking some time to just like evaluate his surroundings and decide whether this is a dream or not.
And I guess you're sitting at a table with Volo, and Azar's still there too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Might I ask why there's a cow here?
Oh, that was me. You might recognize. I don't know if you had any dealings with them. You found someone down there, I believe. Certain Kellum.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Yes, certain Weasley fellow.
Yes, that's him right there. He's the one. He's the little bastard who abandoned me in the Undermountain.
So you turned him into a cow.
Well, I wanted to throw him down the well, but that was proving ineffective, so I turned him into a cow. It made Sardick happy, so all in all, I think it was worth it.
Is he a happy cow or an angry cow? Like, as Roscoe looks at it, this is more like, I guess, an internal thought. Like, does the cow look angry and is it like rampaging, or is it pretty content?
It looks like it was calmed down by... Well, it looks calm.
Huh. You know? I think that's enough of an explanation for me, oddly enough. How long will that last, and what do you plan on doing him when it stops?
Honestly, I haven't thought that far ahead yet. I might try and throw him down the well again once the spell's run its course. I don't know.
Very well. Fair enough.
Here, try one of these. And Azar is just going to grab one of the drinks that Volo is generously providing and pass it over to Roscoe.
Thank you very much. You know, I was intending to talk to Dernan. Have you seen her around? I think Volgara had me possessed for a little bit there.
Dernan? Yes,
Yeah.
he's just at the bar, I believe.
Alright, I'll make my way over there.
Okay. Volo says to Azar, "Of course I've heard of cave bison. I've seen them. I've eaten them. Not bad."
The best part is that it's an actual D&D monster back from 1st edition, I think it was.
Why wouldn't there be cave bison?
You gotta love D&D. They put out some stupid-ass monsters in their time.
Like bear bees?
And let's not forget such magical things as... Oh, what? Okay, let's see here. What's the stupidest one that immediately comes to mind? Well, you have coral. Of course, literal coral is a monster in Dungeons and Dragons. There's stat blocks for it.
Coral's no joke.
Yeah.
Someone out there has died to coral, though, so give it some risk.
Yeah.
The creeping menace.
Alright, so you're gonna go over to, Dernan?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay. He nods.
Um,
Welcome back. I see you're not dead yet.
yeah, we've managed to avoid that one. Last time we left, I had a question for you, and you said you'd think on it. Have you come up with an answer?
Yeah, I thought of something.
For no reason, I'm just supposed to find someone in the depth. Who knows? For no reason, just anything you have would help. It's for a school project. I'm with the university. If that makes it seem less suspicious.
I remember meeting something down there. It appeared as a ordinary man, but I don't believe it was one. It seemed ancient, and it knew things. Too many things that a normal man wouldn't have known. I have no reason to suspect that it's not still down there somewhere. It called itself the Alchemist.
The Alchemist. Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
It liked to keep to the natural caves, especially near water.
Do you know what floor you encountered it on?
Well, the floors have changed dramatically since I was in Undermountain. This was a couple of 100 years ago, but...
A couple hundred? You're human though, yeah?
But I met it not far from the Sargoth River. Of course, the Sargoth does twist and turn and go for quite a long way, so...
Okay.
It could still take some searching, but... I recall it liked natural caves and it liked water.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind, thank you.
So if you find this alchemist, it definitely mentioned Carcosa, so it knows something about it.
Interesting. Is it dangerous, the creature, or is it friendly?
Seems to like to make deals.
Alright.
It wasn't dangerous to me, but... I'm sure if you deal with it on its own terms, you shouldn't have any problems.
Alright, thank you. Are you having any troubles up here? I realize people have been stuck here for quite a few days now. Is there anything that needs...
Is there anything what?
That needs doing? I realize people have been stuck here for a while, so... Is everything alright here in the tavern?
No, I'm okay. I've got my staff here. They're handling everything.
Okay. Well...
Unless you feel like cleaning up some cow shit. I know Vic would love to not have to do it.
You know, I might pass on that one. It's been a long day or two being...
Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Donan. I will keep this in mind. And Roscoe kind of wanders off.
Alright. So... Ara's basically meditating, holding the baby back in one of the rooms. Midge is up there talking to Danae. And Azar is sitting with Volo. And Sardick is sitting up with Salona Malerkin on the 3rd tier. So what's next? What's anybody else gonna do? Well, except for Ara, who's kind of gonna be there for a while, probably. And actually, Sardick is kind of now engaged for a while. So really, Azar or...
Have we sold off our various body parts?
Are you asking Azar, or are you looking through the bag?
I'm sure we can do that in game. Well, I guess I have the bag, so I'll see if they're missing, because I know that I've been out for a little bit.
No, everything's still there. What happened to
Right.
the spell book, you guys? What did you take the spell book? Scito?
I didn't, but I would like to have it, yes.
I might not have written it down, but Scito, I assume that the end plan is that Scito has it.
Yeah, you know what else I wanted to ask you guys? Oh, right, and that's a new quest that's getting added to the quest thing. The Chronicler. Lots of quests.
Ooh.
Alright, the Chronicle has been added. So, yes, you haven't sold any of the parts yet. You also haven't talked to Morn Blackwell about the ring that you found. You don't actually see him around at the moment. So those are things that have not yet been done, and there hasn't been any sort of commerce that's taken place. But what I was going to ask you guys was, what have you sold in terms of body parts already?
I've been updating the bag, so if we sold it, it's no longer in there. I think the only things that we've actually sold so far have been the Grell tentacles, which actually wasn't even, or the Grell parts, which was to the...
Black Viper.
Yeah. We sold something to her.
The only thing to Danae was that intellect devour gland.
That's right.
Yeah, I want to keep a note of everything that...
And Arlo Butterbarrel got the tentacles from the Grells to make that lovely stew.
Right. Okay. And then the other one was... Have you guys sold any actual magic items to Obaya Ude?
I don't think so.
I think we sold
Oh,
some, 'cause
magic
I remember her
things.
portal.
I think we did sell some just random magic things. Like the button maybe? Do we still have that?
I think the button, that music box kind of thing.
Okay. Alright.
The button, I think the music box kind of thing, I think that had like some sort of a small like enchantment on it or something like that. I think that's about it, because she wasn't interested in the illusion aura potion, and I know we didn't sell the amulet with the red head.
Yeah, I kind of
coral
think
is
you
still
sold
on
those things to... I think you sold those things to Rosavi, though, because I don't think there were significant enough magic items for Obaya.
Oh, I think you're right. That was all to Rosavi.
Yeah, something we did
Is that
sell to her though, because I
Yeah.
remember like her portal that she summons to transaction portal to the Great Vaults was all gold and shimmery and that type of thing.
I know she wanted to buy the sword that Roscoe is cursed with. But
True.
Alright, so what are you guys doing now?
Well, Azar's gonna get up and start looking for that spell book.
once
Whoever
Roscoe
has
is
it.
like back together, he'll probably take it out of the bag and be like, "Oh, Asa, you were taken last time, and now I was taken. But I think we found your spell."
Unfortunately, I don't believe this is mine.
Oh.
Still.
Well, it's a spell book. It's a start, right?
Yes, indeed. Once I get my actual spell book, I can copy the spells from this into that, and in the meanwhile, I can use this. So, what spells are in this spell book?
Alright, let me tell you. If I can just find the right... Here it is. I will copy them into the chat here. Those are the spells that are in it.
Alright. Now I will copy these down. I won't put them in my spellbook proper yet because they're not really... I don't really have them in my proper spellbook yet, but got them copied down. Okay, awesome. Right, well,
Cool.
this seems a relatively beginner's spellbook by the looks of it, but still it's the spells here which I don't have in my repertoire, so will be quite handy to transfer these into my proper spellbook. And then afterwards, we'll be able to sell this spellbook for some good coin.
I think Abaya buys those, doesn't she?
She
So that's
does.
something. Yeah.
She
that
buys
should
them
be good.
based on the value of the highest level spell in them. Which that's got a 4th level spell, Blight, so she'll buy it at the cost of a 4th level spell, which is pretty good.
Yep, but first, gotta get those spells copied into my spellbook.
Wow, she'll pay a lot for that book. 100 platinum.
Damn.
Ooh.
Wow.
Anyways, so I'm going to also attempt to fashion the rags of Morn's old clothing into a makeshift backpack or sack that I can carry. Because god damn it, I'm not buying a new backpack or anything. I'm waiting until I get my stuff back.
Oh, you could take it from the cow when he turns back.
Oh, he has a backpack?
I don't know. I mean, he carried a book that we couldn't see.
He has a backpack.
Okay, I'm taking that.
Roscoe didn't suggest that, though. Will endorses it, though.
Anyways, in any case, I'm going to look around because let's just say that through my powers of divination, I've sensed I'm about to come into some new spells, and I would like to purchase a sack full of spikes and a sack full of ball bearings.
Oh, those are spell components?
Not quite, but let's just say they could be very useful for a spell.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, none of the merchants here sell general goods.
Oh, you have got kidding me.
The, what's his name? Vordaxis the Resplendent sells spell components specifically, but wouldn't sell anything that's not specifically required as a component, and Nobody else here. Like, there's nobody here that you could even buy a backpack from if you wanted to.
Wow.
They only sell basically magic items. Or magic paraphernalia, like components.
Okay, that's fine. I can still work with this. Oh, I'll work something out.
Now, there may be other merchants that you can find, but they're not here.
If I was gonna get 2 more sets of Evermore summoning stuff, do we want to roleplay that out, or can I just spend the 20 gold?
You can just spend the 20 gold, unless you want to talk to him about anything special, or...
Nah, I just want to restock those.
Okay. Would you guys like to buy a manual of bodily health for only 37,394 dragons?
Nice.
Oh, I'll be buying some manuals. You just wait. You just wait.
I'll just wait then.
Is anyone else trying to buy anything else? I mean, I think we should definitely sell the stuff that we have to sell. We should find more and give the key back. Or the ring back, excuse me. But does anyone else have any major things they want?
Sardick, of course, would be looking around for diamonds if the opportunity arises.
Oh, I'm gonna ask... Durnan, do you happen to have any old cutlery?
Old cutlery? What are you talking about?
Like knives or forks that you aren't using anymore?
Well, I have knives and forks, but wouldn't say that I have any that I'm not using. Why?
So, none that are broken? I could just use a few of them. Say 10 of them.
I suppose I could sell you. You want knives or forks? Or both?
Let's go with knives.
They're not very sharp.
They just need to be sharp enough.
Alright. Sure. I could sell you 10 knives for 2 gold.
$2 gold? I mean, that's a little bit excessive, don't you think? I mean, what about 1 gold?
I could sell you 5 knives for 1 gold.
Okay, I'm gonna try and use the old persuasion on him with my also incredible charisma. Oh, this is gonna go so well. So well. So well!
Wow.
Nice. That's even worse than the strength rolls from
I
before.
know.
You know, now that I think about it, I don't really want to sell any knives anyway.
That's fine.
Azar, I have a mess kit if you need a knife from that. I mean, it's my only one. I don't really want to get rid of it, but do you need them that bad?
No, I don't worry. I'll just collect some stones or something while we're down in Undermountain. You'll understand. It all has a purpose.
If you want to buy random crap, just go down to Skullport. They got all kinds of merchants down there.
Don't you think I won't, mister? Mister, I'm gonna just keep all my knives and forks to myself.
That is, if you can find the way. I wish I could tell you, but it's always changing.
Well, I guess that's what we'll be doing.
All right. So, what are you trying to do, Will?
I was just gonna get some familiar summoning components real quick, but then also sell the body parts that we have collected and return the ring to Morn, who you said was.
All right. So Morn's not currently in the tavern, but if you want to do the other things, so you don't want to role play things out with Vordaxis the Resplendent.
I could, but it would just be me asking to buy components. So.
All right. So just go ahead and spend the money, and you can get the components.
Okay.
He gives you some grief about, using improper magics and not properly studying like a wizard should and all that. Be careful what gives you the whole line about be careful what forces you meddle with and all that.
I assure you, the things I meddle with are well within my control. Yeah. So the components, please, sir.
Yeah, he gives you them.
Sounds good.
So just take off the gold for that.
Alright. I already actually did.
Alright, good. So Midge was over there talking with Danae for a while, and then you see that she drinks some kind of weird stuff out of some kind of stone cup, and then she looks sort of really out of it, and she goes wandering off. Back to the back somewhere. Being a warlock is like getting a degree from an online institution.
That's right. What Axis knows, you should go to an accredited institution, alright?
Roscoe did. He's the only one who actually... Oh, I don't know, because did you go to a school for your wizardry stuff? Because Roscoe did actually go to school.
Okay. I was tutored, and then I got some more schooling.
Okay, so the homeschool kid's criticizing the university kid about not going to...
Well, look, I was a slave.
Roscoe didn't say any of that, but...
That's cool. So, you went to career college of Waterdeep.
Didn't study what I ended up majoring. Or I majored in something that was irrelevant to my final profession.
Look, I found this super evil book. I'm sure it's perfectly accredited.
Okay, that's pretty good, Amanda.
Wait, what?
Discord.
Stakes have never been higher. I get it.
Is he in
That's
the
fine.
field of weed also?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I actually get it entirely now.
Wow.
Actually, can we take a break about now?
Yeah.
Alright.
No, you get no breaks. This is slave driving.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Jokes.
Yeah.
You just sounded so sad. I felt bad for a second there.
Bovine shit.
I'm very good at signing defeated.
You really did. I was like, oh, does he not realize I was kidding?
Nice.
No, don't worry. I'm good at picking up sarcasm and like.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. Anyway, so break.
Yeah.
Okay. I will be back.
Alright. Stick around, stay tuned, don't touch that dial. I will be right back in just 2 minutes. Hashtag super fast.
Okay, I'm back.
I'm also back.
I
Mm.
am.
I am here as well. I don't think I actually ever left.
Nice. Iceberg, iceberg, we're in a titanic pickle here. But let us remain calm, help will turn up soon. Wow. That's...
I imagine that you're sitting there shaking your head right now.
Well, he might be doing a camera stare.
Probably.
Oh man, we're missing so many meta things right now, but not seeing the fourth wall has never been stronger.
Yeah. Alright. So... Anyway. What are you guys doing?
So how much time has passed about now?
Oh... An hour.
Okay, well, that means my spell's wearing off. So, I'm gonna just be sort of standing over Callum when he transforms back.
Something went wrong. What? Why? God damn it. Hold on. My stupid DoorDash app is not behaving properly. Alright, cool, I'm done. I'm good to go. So, what?
So, Callum will be returning back to his former form, and I will be standing above him.
Alright, so the time runs out. And you sense the spell fade from your concentration. And yet, he remains a cow.
I'm... Oh, this is
Do you know a
magical.
9th level spell?
I didn't think that this... It might have something to do with the wards here. The elven magic's interfering with my own spell.
Yeah, make an Arcana check. You can make one too, well, if you want.
Alright.
There we go. Something I'm actually good at.
Ooh, nice. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys think there's a strange field of magic around the Yawning Portal right now due to the malfunctioning quasi-mythal that is affecting the way that other magics function within it in unpredictable ways. So any magic that you use at this point may do something weird if you're in the Yawning Portal.
Ooh.
Well, I will certainly have to make a note of this.
turn catcher into one of those dragon dinosaur things again. See if that turns from.
By the way, you guys don't see Katrin. It looks like she ran off toward where the baths were pretty much as soon as you came up.
Well, I guess we could experiment with this if we want, but I imagine as soon as we go back down into the Yawning Portal, into the Undermountain, it wouldn't work. But, I guess I could try turning into a gaseous form and see if that lasts indefinitely. I don't know what the benefit of that. Curiosity, I guess, but
I mean,
probably.
Would you really want to be stuck in gaseous form forever?
Probably not.
well, at least I think we can all say, though, that this has worked out the best possible way.
It does mean you can't take his backpack if you wanted that.
But I still have the rags from Morn, so not all is lost. So I'm going to start fashioning myself my own goddamn backpack. Or at least something...
You're fashioning yourself basically a crude facsimile of a bag from the
Yes.
from the decimated clothing that you got from Morn.
Exactly.
You know, I do have a bag of holding that was intended for if you want to use that.
Right, but I have to carry some multiple things, multiple spell books and all that, so I really should have something for carry those things in.
Fair enough. I guess I have my backpack that I don't need anymore with the bag of holding. You could... I mean, it's kind of special to me, you know, I had this on all of my expeditions in school, but if you take good care of it, you can use...
I mean...
Because, I mean, that's worked out for everything he's used lately.
I
yeah.
might have a point. Maybe I shouldn't.
I'm sorry, I wasn't there. I'm not there, so... That was me
Actually,
out of game saying that.
I'd say that Danae actually left too. When Midge left.
So looks like we're stuck here for a little bit because the two things I wanted to do before we left cannot be done.
Katrin comes back finally from the baths. She's looking very clean and scrubbed. Her hair very clean. Everything. And he says, "Hey, so what's going on? What did I miss? Anything?"
Not too much.
Wait a minute. Where's that cow come from? She points at the cow. There's a cow here. She walks over and starts petting the cow.
Well, that cow is our good friend Kellum.
She looks at you with wide eyes. You turned Kellum into a cow?
Yeah, yes, I did.
She starts laughing. That's hilarious.
I know, right? You should have seen Sardick with him earlier.
Oh, I can imagine.
Or her, technically. I did turn him into a female cow. Which I suppose was causing all sorts of issues with his mind right about now.
Well, he or she seems pretty calm. So that's good. Anyway, I'm tired. All that being a big monster really took it out of me. So, you guys need me for anything right now, or can I just go get some sleep?
I'm gonna look to Roscoe, and then I'm just gonna say, I don't need anything. I'm good.
I think you're good, Katrin. Thank you for helping us down there. Take some time to relax.
Alright, thanks.
I should probably go bath as well, now that one of those is open. Roscoe will go up to clean off.
All right. So, the baths are empty now.
Well, I guess I'll use the bath as well, because they did get sort of slobbered on by a horrifying Greg.
And a T-Rex.
That is true.
Alright, so do you guys want to just pass some time here? Take your rest.
Mm-hmm.
You bathe. Sardick talks with Salona Malarkin for a while. Of course, Ara's going to finish her meditation long before any of the rest of you finish your rest. But everybody is going to basically go rest, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Alright, so you bathe if you wish to, you get some food if you wish to, you can rest. Ara, as I say, you feel this sort of comforting feeling of like being held by a welcoming presence with which you belong, and your skin is tingling as you're sitting there with your skin touching the scale, and the tingling kind of intensifies as you go, but it's not uncomfortable or painful. It feels nice. It's pleasurable even. And by the time you're done, having meditated for 4 hours, you feel different. You feel kind of stronger. And you can feel this sort of releasing underneath you. And you sort of sink down to the floor. And as you look down, you see that the scale is gone. It has sort of turned into dust.
No.
But then you notice on your skin there's a very, very fine, like spider web thin network of like these mystical lines that are like burned into your skin. Not burned really, not like a wound or a scar, but like imprinted on your skin.
Sort of like they work with the scales that are there already.
Yeah.
You're becoming like a Fable character. That's amazing.
And
Josiah, you're creating a Fable character.
is that what I'm doing? Never mind then. None of this has happened. No, just kidding. And your character now has a permanent +1 to armor class on top of any other
Nice.
normal armor class bonuses you would have.
Woohoo. Alrighty. I feel harder to hit.
Yeah, your skin feels tougher to puncture now. More resilient.
I like that. I'm still kind of sad that the scale itself is gone. I felt connected.
But you feel
It
that
was
feeling
unwieldy.
like it's inside you now. Like the answer was inside you the whole time.
Yes.
Nice.
Like,
And I can storyline wise, I can assume that this probably came from a dragon that is part of my bloodline, correct?
yeah, you feel that that's probably the case. And you've absorbed it into yourself,
Yes. I'm like a sponge.
becoming slightly more draconic. So what is Ara gonna do after she finishes meditating? Because everybody else is now doing their rest.
Now, question: did the drow wake?
Oh yeah, they start stirring. And come to consciousness, and they see you there. They don't seem terribly surprised.
I just say hello and
All right, so Saloon, which is the rude one, kind of scowls and, oh, you made it back. I see you've survived running around with those half-breeds yet again.
yes, I did. That's because we work well as a team.
You should work with your own kind. Join Brigandarth. Abandon these mongrels that you run around with.
Are my scales actually visible? Like, I mean, I would assume if I was looking down at my skin, I could, I saw the.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So I was just gonna say to him, well, I mean, I'm not really quite sure what my own kind is at this point.
What did you do to your skin?
I was born this way.
Looks like you
I'm
got
referring-
a tattoo, but made it of
Yeah.
silver.
Yeah, that just kind of appeared. But I was born with the scales.
You're a weird one.
Thanks.
And then Felrect comes sort of fully conscious. And they say, "Ah. Ara, welcome back. I see you've taken charge of young Varus again."
Yes.
"I'm glad to see that you are well.
Thank
How
you.
goes your quest?"
We seem to be getting sidetracked very often. Not through any fault of the actual party, but we seem to run into situations where we have to resurface. But we have made progress, and I believe we'll be going to the next level. And I have someone with me that has an intent to go to the same area that I need to go to. So maybe we can kill two birds with one stone.
Well, congratulations on your progress. I understand that becoming sidetracked is a common thing for those who venture into this place. What area are you trying to get to?
I will have to recall. It's the same area that Midge is looking to go to.
Skullport?
Skullport, yeah.
I'm also trying to get into Skullport.
So that kind of works out for a lot of us.
Roscoe is just going down.
Why can't I find the quest? Here it is. They say, have you considered performing our task if you do arrive in Skullport? The task that Varus agreed to.
That is actually my reasoning for going to Skullport. I have my own personal quest, but that can be done. I think I've accomplished a little. And I just kind of look at my arm while holding Varys. So it kind of just looks like I'm looking at Varys.
Right. Varys seems to be at peace. He
does seem very calm.
He has been good. He's given us a little trouble.
Yeah, from my understanding, his first childhood was pretty simple too.
He seems.
She kind of says that bitterly. Oh, he's 100-and-something-year-old baby.
I am not an expert on such things, but I would like to say that it seems he is maturing just a bit faster than a regular babe would.
He does seem like he's gotten a bit bigger, and it's only been a couple weeks. I'm not sure how to. I mean, I don't have children of my own, so.
Perhaps it will not take him as long to grow up as it did the first time.
Maybe not.
In any case, I am happy to continue looking after him for as long as you need.
I appreciate that very much. And we're still in agreement that we'll keep this one under check with his hatred of elves and half-elves that aren't drow.
Oh, don't worry. Soloon likes to talk, but...
his bark is bigger than his bite.
Let's just say I've got him on a short leash. Saloon just kind of growls at this. He won't take actions without my permission. And I will not permit him to do anything inappropriate. Bregandaath seeks to cultivate a good reputation in this city. One that transcends the larger reputation that our people have on the surface.
I appreciate that. I definitely left the Underdark for disagreement of views.
As did we. You would make a fine member of our organization. I think that the captain would like you very much.
Maybe when I return from this quest, we'll discuss it.
Wonderful. They smile.
I'm gonna take Varys down and get him fed, since it's probably decently quiet down there. I'm sure everybody's off resting.
Very well. We'll probably return to our table soon.
Alright, I'm not sure how long I'll be up here, but I will return to you guys once we're ready to leave.
That's fine with me.
And I thank him again and head on out.
Okay. So yeah, you know, not as many people in the common room now as usual. You don't see any of your companions out and about.
Yeah.
So you suspect they must all be resting. There is a cow! There is a cow in the common room now, though.
Yay!
So we can bring cows in, but we can't take people out.
The cow moon room. I'd say the cow has actually settled down into a spot in the corner and is now sleeping.
Well, that's new.
Sleepy cow.
It's all for you, Nox. It's all for you!
Yay.
So are you going to do anything special at this point, or just kind of get some food for Varys and yourself and relax for a bit?
I'm gonna relax and I'll probably ask Dernan if he can talk to the cook about something for Varys.
He nods. Yeah, as I understand it, he already whipped up a bunch of stuff for the baby there. It's got it set aside, so... So he sort of waves at Bonnie. Bonnie goes back to the kitchen. She comes out. Hi, how do you be? She's brought you a tray with a few different sort of little bits of foodstuffs for yourself to eat if you choose, and as well as, you know, like a nice custom-made baby food type of stuff for Varys.
Nice. So I'll nibble a little here and there, but I'll basically focus on feeding Varys.
Okay. Varys seems to enjoy it.
That's because he's a good baby.
He actually is a much nicer baby than he was an adult.
Well, maybe, hopefully, we'll raise him not to be the edgelord he was.
Yeah. Alright, so... Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna make another joke, but then it slipped my mind.
Alright, so some more time passes. Everybody's awake now. You guys can do whatever y'all want in the morning. You've now officially had your full rest. You've officially leveled up. So...
Roscoe finds an area of dim lighting and then turns invisible without expending any resources, because mechanics.
Nice. There's plenty of dim light in here.
Maybe like Roscoe, while he was asleep, turned invisible and didn't realize it, so he kind of like woke up invisible, and if anyone was in the room with him, like, startled.
He can't see his own arms. He's like, ah!
I kind of like the idea of like he's got like sort of unconscious camouflage where like whenever he like stops for a moment and hasn't used his action, he just like shadows kind of like turn in and try and turn him invisible wherever he is. Just like keep using his action to not have his camouflage go up.
Alright, that's cool. So, now what do you guys do? Now that you've had your morning, or had your rest.
I'm just gonna wait for the others to kind of let me know what they decide. I'm ready to go when they're ready to go, or I'm ready to stay if they want to stay.
Mert sort of flags you down, Roscoe.
Alright. I'll head over his way.
And he says, hello there, young man. I sent that boy over to get you earlier, but you just kind of stood there without reacting.
Long story. I apologize, but I'm here.
No apology necessary. I understand you can be Rather
Jarring.
shocking
down
coming back from that place, yes. I just wanted to know if you'd show me your progress on the map so far.
Oh, of course. And Roscoe will kind of like fiddle through and pull out this sort of like large folded up piece of paper with like the, I guess, halfway done map of the floor, and kind of like point through the different areas that they've seen and walk him through what he's made. So you see, we haven't quite gotten up north farther. There was some vampires up there that said that we had to deal with the southern part before they'd let us explore up north. So most of the south part is completely filled in. We've checked pretty thoroughly for passages along here, and he's kind of like walking through the southern part of the map. It's just a matter of getting up and letting those darn vampires let us through.
Vampires, eh? Well, they can be prickly.
And not really one that I want to mess with, you know. If I was going to spend an eternal life of something, I'd rather it not be.
Oh, yes, of course, I understand. Well, this is just excellent. Just excellent. Of course, incomplete, but I have no doubt you'll be able to finish it. You're doing a great job. In fact, here! And he reaches into a small pouch on his belt, and he pulls out this big bag of coins that's too big to have just come out of that small pouch. And then he pulls out another one, and he pulls out 5 in total, and he sets them down in front of you on the bar, and he says, "There, it's an advance on the full payment for the map."
You're too kind. Would you like me to try and make a quick copy of it before we head back down, just so you have something physical for your troubles here, and the very generous offer you've made?
Well, sure, that'd be good, yes. That'd be wonderful.
I feel like it's only fair, you know, because I'll need something down there to keep going if, you know, we want to come back. You might as well have something for this. Thank you.
But here, this is $250, and you'll receive the remaining $750 when the map is complete, yes?
Perfect. Thank you, sir. I'll go start copying that right away.
Alright, so you can add 250 gold to your party wealth.
Alright, it has been added. So Roscoe will be off making as pretty a copy of the map as he can for the next probably couple hours.
Alright, go ahead and make a cartographer's kit roll.
What skill would you like for that?
Don't you have cartographer's kit? Isn't that like a thing?
Yes, so it will give me proficiency, but I still have to choose an attribute associated.
Oh, dexterity.
I've had better, but 10.
It's perfectly average, acceptable copy. It's nothing beautiful, but you know.
Is it the kind of thing that I recognize that it's not beautiful? Well, I'll present it as a rough draft, as like there's more to come, but here's sort of like the quick thing before I go back.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yes, but that's fine for now.
It's not meant to be the complete product, you know. This is just so you have something for the.
Right. Well, thank you, young man. You're doing good work.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
And you're quite generous for funding this expedition.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I have more money than I know what to do with, so. And the reason for that is because of this place, Undermountain. So maybe you'll reach similar fortune.
Were you an adventurer down there?
Oh, yes. Everybody talks about Durnan, the great adventurer that went, but Durnan and I were a team. I was with him everywhere he went. All they talk about with me is that I'm a moneylender and that I'm rich and like debauchery and throwing money around, but, you know, he spent all his money on this place. I kept mine to, well, debaucherize with for all these years.
Fair enough, sir. To each their own. Did you happen to run across mention of the word Carcosa in your travels?
Doesn't sound familiar.
Okay. No concerns there. Just
To
figured
be
I'd
perfectly honest, I didn't pay much attention to all the historical stuff, you know, the names and the writings and the, ancient artifacts. I only really cared about the stuff that could be sold for cold hard coin, you know?
Yeah, I can understand. Sometimes I just feel like I have a calling down there that I need to find. That's all I ask. No worries. It's okay, I'm sure I'll find it.
Just another hundreds-year-old human. Yeah. You've heard this story. I mean, everybody's heard the basic stories of this place, that Durnan and Mert found something down there that gave them incredible longevity. But they never have told anybody exactly what it was.
Well, I will keep you updated on the map.
Alright. So, what's Sardick doing?
Sardick was reading the book, and specifically the realm of fifth level prayers, as he also communes, with his own daily prayers, and eventually he comes out of the room, and his eyes are wide as he's considering all the possibilities that he's experiencing, and he, there's a sort of a chuckle and a laugh on his breath, going, that's how you do it. Of course, it all makes sense now. If only I knew then what I know now, that would. I could change things, but I don't have the stuff I need yet. But, and he's sort of coming down the stairs and such. Or is he coming down, like, let's say, around the second level?
Sure.
Okay, he'll sort of look to see if Razavi the Flame Skull is there, happily bobbing around.
He is. Rosavi doesn't have to go sleep, so he's there 100% of the time.
Awesome.
He probably doesn't need to exercise either, because honestly, he doesn't have a heart for coronary artery disease. He doesn't have any weight.
Yeah.
Nice.
He just gets a big head every once in a while.
You can't even do cardio if you don't have a heart.
His heart's just not in it.
He doesn't even have lungs.
He'll go up to Razavi and Razavi, great and magnificent, I believe you are, as if the moniker you've put upon yourself. Tell me, friend, would you happen to sell gems as well as buy them?
It is not just a moniker I put upon myself. The great and magnificent Razavi Khorasani has been called so by many people across many lands, many worlds. It is good to see you again, friend Dwarf.
Likewise
Indeed.
indeed.
You look for gems. Yes, Razavi loves gems. I collect many of them. Do you have some gems to sell me?
Well, that I might, actually, but I was wondering if you perhaps sell gems as well.
Typically, Razavi does not sell gems. Razavi collects them, but if A good offer was made. By a valued customer, Rosavi might be willing to part with a gem or two here and there.
Interesting. I mean, I would think the ones that I look for probably would be, ones you wouldn't value as much. Just sort of plain and transparent, the diamond variety, as opposed to, ones that are, multi-hued and multifaceted and all that, resplendence that catches in the light. And he'll take out the 9 tiger eye gems that he got from the grill room so long ago from those eyes.
You guys still have those? You didn't sell them?
Sardick seems to have been under a certain madness that compelled him to keep them for quite a while.
Okay.
So proud of you, Nox. Buying and selling eye gems. So proud.
Nine tiger eye gems, huh? Did you write down how much those were worth?
I seem to remember them being 10 gold apiece.
That sounds right to me. I can look it up, but that sounds right. These are not bad. Rosavi seems to concentrate, and the gems float up into the air as though lifted by a telekinetic grasp.
Nice.
And he's sort of turning them around with his mind in front of him. Rosavi would not mind purchasing these from you.
It was only recently that I remembered I had found them, but yes, but as I said, of the possibility of perhaps buying one of those plain clear diamonds, which light just shines right through them. You might not even know they're there.
Rosavi agrees with you. Rosavi finds diamonds to be boring. However, they also have great value, and Rosavi is a merchant.
Yes, I totally understand that.
Rosavi will give you... I'll tell you what, I'll give you 100 dragons for these tiger's eyes. All of them.
Sardick will kind of look at the arrangement there, sort of floating about, and he'll sort of consider them and go, that would, yes, I will go ahead and take that. Would do nicely.
Okay. So he produces the gold from his portal that appears, and the gems go telekinetically flying back into the portal. Blinked out his skull with gems. What are you looking for in the way of diamonds?
Diamonds, they have so much use to, one of my particular faith. One that would be worth 300 dragons would be enough to call back someone from the grave who had just barely stepped foot in, but one that would be 500 gold would be able to call back someone from the grave who had been there for even a year, let's say.
I would just like to reiterate how much I love, again, that the gods or whatever, apparently they care about the dollar value of the diamonds, and that's how they work. Apparently they account for market fluctuations, all those sorts of things.
They're like, look, bringing people back from the dead isn't free. We got expenses to pay up here in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
In this economy, I mean, pretty soon we're gonna have to start making Raised Dead cost 700 gold diamonds instead of 500. Inflation, divine inflation.
Oh, Nox.
Supply and diamond. Oh, Nox. This is good uses for these. Very impressive. So, do you have the gold to purchase such a thing?
Well, actually, I really only have that 100 that we just transacted, but I was really just seeing if you happen to, would be willing to part with such things.
Perhaps a few.
Sardick will consider this a nod.
All right, excellent. I'll definitely keep that in mind.
I would be more interested if you had something interesting to trade for the diamonds, rather than just coin. Might even make you a better deal.
Sardick kind of raises his eyebrows. He kind of considers that, what Rasavi's saying, and like he mentally kind of considers the great axe upon his belt, but he would never part with that, especially after what he's gone through to get that. But he also considers the coral of faith that he also has with him that he's attuned to. But he thinks that might be tempting, but
well, I'll keep that in mind. It's possible we might come up with something.
Alright. Will you just let me know when you wish to... In fact, Rasavi very much enjoys things of magic and also other gems. So if you brought me other gems that are not diamonds, to trade for diamonds, I might make you a better deal. Like, even if the value of the gems that you have is not as much as the value of the diamond, I may make the deal anyway.
Out of game, Roscoe has a 100 gold tourmaline and a 50 gold zircon that Sardick would.
And a 50 gold sardonyx and a 100 gold chunk of jade.
mm-hmm.
And a 100 gold
True.
pearl, but I think you're saving the 100 gold pearl for identify.
Definitely.
Yes.
So you guys are sitting on 200... You're sitting on 300 gold worth of gems that you don't want right now in the bag of holding.
Well, those particular gems were actually quite fascinating how I got them. You might even be intrigued to know it was odd. There were, we were dealing with these grills that were in this room of fog, and atop these pillars there were skulls upon spikes, and actually, there were 5 of them, and there ended up having those 9 tiger eye gems adorning their sockets.
This is very interesting.
I thought you might like to know that. We even encountered a mummified minotaur through rather extraordinary means, who also had some gems in its eye sockets. And well, once I had taken it out of this sort of necrotic zone it had been imprisoned in, it had since faded away and was able to cross over into the afterlife. But the gems that were in its eyes, well, they ended up falling into my hands, and well, we do have those. I don't know where that roguish fellow went to that's in my party, but it's got to be around here somewhere.
Well, if you have more gems to show me, by all means, produce them. Or if they're in the possession of your friend, then bring him.
Roscoe's probably at a table drawing out the map that he was doing earlier.
Yeah, and so while you're up there having that conversation, Are you sitting near Ara, or did you go off and just find your own separate table? Will. Roscoe.
Oh, me. He was focusing, so he... If Ara was... She was entrancing at that point, right?
No, she's at it. She's got a table that she's got at with Varys.
I imagine if there was a free table, he would be like scrawled out with like papers for comparison and all of like his pens and his cartographer's kit and everything like that, and like rulers and whatever those little circle making devices are. Man, it's been a long time since I was in elementary school. But I imagine he's got all those, so he's probably making a mess if there's space somewhere.
Circle making devices? The compass?
What are they called? No. You like set them to a certain length apart and fix it, and then there's a point, and then you just like spin it around the
Compass.
That's called
those
a
are
compass.
Oh, see, that's how little I know. Then yes,
and
a
then
compass.
there's a protractor. Do you have one of those too? I'm sure you do.
Roscoe's a big old nerd. He probably has one.
Nice. Okay, so at this point, you're doing that. Sardick's up there talking to Razavi. Katrin comes out from the back, and she's got Morn Blackwell with her, and they come. She's like, yeah, we totally did, and I just hold on, I gotta find my friends, and so they just walk right up to Ara first of all. So Katrin and Morn Blackwell walk up to Ara's table because it's the closest one to where they came out of. Hey, Ara, I was just telling Morn here how we found his wife's ring.
We did?
Oh,
I was
yeah,
out of it for that whole
You were
thing.
kind of in Valgara zone at the time, I forgot. Yeah, we did, so I guess you don't know where it is then.
I would assume one of the guys has it. Or Midge.
Alright, Morin gives Ara a kindly smile and says, "Thank you so much for your part in this."
You're welcome. She never knows what to say to him. He's just a kind
Yeah.
old man, and she's just like, okay.
So then she looks around, she goes, "Oh, there's Roscoe. He probably knows." So Roscoe, or Ara and Morn walk over towards Roscoe's table. You're just gonna stay where you are, Ara?
Yeah.
Okay. So they walk over to Roscoe's table now, and Katrin's like, "Hey, Roscoe."
One second. Okay, yeah. Man, that was perfectly average. That wasn't a very good line right there.
Oh, cool. You're making another map?
Oh, well, Mert said that he'd be willing to pay a little bit up front for a copy of this. I figured it was only nice. Yes, though, yes. What's...
And you see Morn standing there, just kind of hovering over her shoulder.
And Roscoe has like a bit of like an awkward like, oh, that probably should have been more contained. Yeah, 1 second. And then he kind of like uses his like mage hand with one hand to like fish through the bag that's like off on the floor to the side or something like that, and like pulls out, and like this little ring comes out in the hand, and it kind of like, again, the sort of like shadowy hand kind of like retracts back into his, and he kind of takes it in his hand and holds it up. Is this it?
And you pull out the ring.
Yeah.
Morn sort of peers, squinting his eyes, leaning forward a little bit. And he holds out his hand. He says, "May I?"
Of course. Yes, sir.
So you set the ring on his hand. And he holds it up in front of him, holds it into the light, examines it, and then he nods slowly. He's got a somber expression on his face. "Yes, this was Mayra's ring. Did you find anything else? Anything else of hers, or remains, or anything?"
So it was it was within the creature that you described to us. That creature's dead, though. There's some revenge in there, and the promise that no one else will be hurt by that.
He nods slowly.
Nothing else of her.
Thank you so much for this. What was the creature? Do you know what it was?
It was something foul that resembled at one point a Grey, but it was something beyond that at this point. It was good that you sent us to put us out of this misery, to save other people from it.
Was it a mighty beast? Was it difficult to battle?
Oh, for sure. It was most definitely the most challenging thing we encountered down there, aside from Halasta.
He says, good. I would hate to think that she died to something weak.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Well, I've come to peace with it by now. It's been some time. I mean, he does look very, very sad. You know, there's a little bit of tears welling up in his eyes, but he says, I am glad to know that she is at rest. And now at least I feel I have some closure, rather than not really knowing for sure what might have happened to her. Thank you for bringing this back to me.
Of course, and it was all of us really, not just me. I just happened to be carried.
He says, I would like to give you something for this. I don't have a great deal of coin left, but...
So it was no trouble. We were going in that direction anyway, and we're glad that we could have brought you some closure. You already do a lot to help the people who go down, including us.
He says, I appreciate that, but still, I have a gift I would like to give you for doing me this kindness. It's in my room. Just let me go get it, okay?
Of course.
Katrin says, alright, thanks. It was no problem. We were happy to help. She looks kind of like sad, like she's feeling sympathetic toward him. So he takes the ring and he's still just looking at it as he walks away, going back toward the back.
No, maybe one of us should have gone with him, giving away his last possessions when he's seeming a little bit depressed. Might be a little bit concerning. Let's hope everything's okay. Yeah, Roscoe just kind of goes back to making the map while we wait.
Okay. Katrin sits down at your table, Roscoe, and is kind of like watching and looking over everything that you're doing.
You know, Katrin, would you help me? Because I have this sword in my hand. It makes it a little bit unwieldy, and it could actually... I could use a hand to help stabilize things.
She's, oh yeah, okay, no problem. Just show me where you want me to hold it, or whatever.
Yeah, Roscoe will just kind of have Katrin help him out. Start teaching her the things that Will doesn't know, like a compass.
Alright, so yeah, she's doing her best to help you out. you know that she's got very deft hands, so, you know, it's not like she's gonna be voloing it up or anything.
Nice.
That's the last person you'd want to help you. Ink spilled everywhere.
Volo, can you go help me from across the room? Yep, just stay right over there and you're helping.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so, Morn comes back just a couple of minutes later, and he's carrying a small box. A small wooden box. And he opens it up, and inside there is a kind of a velvet lining, and there's a nice piece of jewelry inside. A necklace, in fact. A necklace of gold and silver with a few tiny, tiny decorative stones, but, you know, they're not particularly valuable gems or anything, but it looks nice. And Captain says, "Ooh, that's pretty. But to your eyes, Roscoe, it is glowing magically."
Okay.
It looks like abjuration magic. He says, I don't know exactly what this does, but my wife had commissioned it, Mayra, to use, you know, in her adventuring, and it was delivered to me after she was gone. And I don't know what it does, but I know that it's got some sort of enchantment upon it, and that she thought it would be useful. And I have no need for it, and it doesn't have any sentimental value to me. You returned to me the one piece of jewelry that would really matter to me, and that was her wedding ring. So I would like to give this to you.
Can we flash back to Ara cleaning all the gore off of it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty gross. It was super gross.
Or if not with prestidigitation, then somehow. But yeah.
Oh yay! I'm so glad I missed that.
Well, this is very generous of you, sir. If you really think this belongs or is best given to us, then we will take it. But just know that you're not compelled to. You already do a lot for people of this world.
It's my pleasure, and to give it to you. It would just sit in a drawer forever if I kept it. Maybe you can get some use out of it and keep doing good.
Well, it looks protective, so you know it might help us survive down there. Well, thank you very much for all of your kindness to us, even before we managed to help you. I'm glad we were able to.
Well, thank you. I really had no hope that I'd ever truly know the fate of my Mayra and ever lay eyes upon anything of hers again. But you've given me that back, and now I can be at even greater peace with her passing. You've done me a great service, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Well, you're more than welcome, sir. Looking at the necklace, I guess I got the sense of abjuration magic. Do I get a sense of what else it is?
Not really. I mean, it kind of needs to be identified, or you sense that it can be attuned to.
Okay. Well, I'll just take it for now.
That's one way that a person could find out, if somebody attunes to it. Otherwise, you need to identify it.
Okay.
Before he gave you a cursed necklace.
Nice.
It's like, you killed her, I know it. That's alright, Roscoe's already got one cursed item. What's the second? So yeah. Unless Morton has anything else to say, Roscoe's paid his regards, or whatever the term is there.
Alright, so he kind of goes away off to spend some time with himself, staring at the ring of his wife.
Does Azar have Identify yet, or is that a wait till we have a spellbook kind of?
Wait until I have my spell book.
All right, so who wants to be the brave one to figure out what this is? All right, Roscoe will try to attune to it.
Alright. How does that work? How many attuned things do you have? Just one?
Does the sword... I think the sword is an attuned thing, correct?
Yeah, the sword is attuned.
Okay, so I have two, so I do have one space for one.
Alright, so it's just, what does it do? Like, it takes an hour to attune to something or something like that?
Yeah, over a short rest you can attune
Yeah.
to something.
Alright, so you can do it. So, you attune the necklace to yourself, and fortunately, it is not cursed.
Roscoe wipes a bead of sweat off his forehead.
It is a necklace of adaptation, which is in the Dungeon Master's Guide on page 182. But basically, while wearing it, you can breathe normally in any environment, and you have advantage on saving throws against harmful gases and vapors, or inhaled poisons, or the breath weapons of some dragons. So basically you can breathe in anything. Underwater, in perfect vacuum, in poison gas.
Okay. Who do we think this would benefit? Does anyone foresee being in any of these environments? Okay.
Well, might have some use underwater, but, well, don't know if there's any of that down there.
It
Well,
is
there is
also
a river.
an uncommon magic item.
We could sell it, I guess, but that seems a little bit rude to do in plain sight right now.
You could indeed sell it to Obaya Ude, for example. Kind of rude, yeah, like, thanks for that. Alright, magic item for sale! That's right, magic item for sale!
You know what? Unless anyone decides that they want it, Roscoe will continue to wear it for now. But I personally don't have much attachment to it, so if someone decides they want it, speak up. Alright.
Well, fun little fact about her, she can't actually attune.
Okay, well, we can hold on to it for now. This might be a thing that we end up selling later. Because no one's really jumping off their seat for it. I mean, Midge might want it because she's more likely than any of us to be in harmful gases or vapors.
That is true. That is
Yeah.
true.
Good point.
Alright, well, we can bring it up to her when she's not off drinking random things and not here. I guess more things we need to do. We can sell these component or these creature parts. So we'll go. Anyone who wants to I forget her name, but the lady who is buying.
You guys don't see Midge either. She hasn't come out from wherever she went. But Danae has returned to her customary spot.
Does anyone else want to take lead on this, or?
Presumably Sardick is still up on the second level.
Well, no, I mean, by now, I don't know, were you gonna go looking for Roscoe? Or what was your plan as far as that went?
Yeah, I imagine eventually after he kind of tried to tempt with the, the story of it, the gems being eyes and skulls kind of thing.
So that would probably happen next. Roscoe and Catherine probably still need some time to finish up the map in the timeline. So you can find the two of them probably on the first floor at a table somewhere.
Sardick would, he would come on down, and then he would see them, of course. And, he would go over to him and go,
there you are, yes. We were just talking about you on the second floor there.
Good things, I hope.
Of course, I was just talking to Razavi, the flame skull, as he was just sort of merrily just sort of floating there, but I mentioned to him that about the gems that were in the Minotaur's eyes, and I believe we might have had some more gems as well.
Let me take a look. And Roscoe kind of like puts his hand into the bag and it kind of like disappears, and he's kind of like shuffling around, and he like puts it down like all the way up to his shoulder as he's kind of like reaching around. It's like, aha! And he kind of like, after a while, pulls out the gems listed in the bag. So it's the Sardonyx, the Jade Chunk, the Tourmaline, the Zircon. And I'll pull the Pearl out, but I think we want to keep that for Identify when that comes up. So.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think we'd sell that at all.
So he'll put that one back in. Yep, this is what we have. Do you have a deal going on up there?
Well, it's an interesting thing. I was talking to him about diamonds and such, and I think I managed to get through to him that diamonds are kind of from a beauty standpoint, they're not just quite as colorful as the other gems, and so he would be willing to part with some of them, even offer a deal for other more dazzling gems such as these.
Well, this tourmaline is a mix between pink and green, which is a kind of interesting thing about that. I'm actually looking at pictures of these to see if they are more dazzling. So it's got a bit of dazzle to it. Sure. Look, the group's funds are open to all of us, and yeah, go for it. If you want to take these up and see what you can do with them, I trust you.
Well, I could potentially strike a deal. I mean, I could try to get some diamonds for us, or maybe even some diamond dust for, if something were to befall us. But, I can't help but think about that poor noble down in the basement. I think I might be able to strike a deal with him, that I might be able to get a gem just big enough, and I know how to do it now. I don't need that rascal with her pickpocketing. I could do it myself.
This has been a thing that you've wanted to do for a long time, Sardick. I fully support it. I mean, if you want, you can talk to the others, but I think you have more than earned 300 gold worth of favor from the group. In terms of this, like, if this is something you want to do, I think you should do it.
He reminds me so much of someone from my past, who, same age and all that, and well, anyway, yes. I mean, just the thought that I could turn Death's hand aside and just make it null and void, just make it completely vanish. Oh, that's amazing thing indeed. Yes, I think you're right. I think you're right, yes. I'll go ahead and do that.
It'd be quite
That's-
impressive. I would love to watch, if you don't mind.
Certainly, it will take me a bit of time. The ritual for it is about an hour. It's not just a simple, quick thing in the way I was able to bring Midge back from the... Death had just such a slight grasp on her that it was easily turned aside, but this one, a stronger grip, takes a bit more effort.
Well, I think it is well within your right to perform this, so I think you should go for it.
All right, then. You've convinced me. I'll go ahead and do this.
Do you need any more than what we have here? Or so let me see. And Roscoe kind of like does some mental math. This here is about 200 gold. So I can send you with a couple of platinum pieces also if you think you need those for bargaining as well.
I suppose it might be best to be safe, but I think these gems ought to do it.
How about this? Don't tell him you have these, and Roscoe will put 10 platinum pieces in Sardick's hand. See what you can do with just the gems, and if you need more, you're more than welcome to come.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's... Yes, you're right. I'll go ahead and do this immediately.
Okay.
So with a lightness to his step, Sardick will happily just sort of bound up to the second level and go back to Azar.
Here they are, the gems that I was talking about here, and these two here, and I'll put those on the table with, reference there. These two, they were the ones that came from the eyes of the Minotaur I was talking about. The other two we had found in the dungeon. This jade one, it was by within a statue. I don't know if it was in the eye itself, but still.
So how many total gems are you showing him? You're showing him
The 4 gems, the tourmaline, the zircon, the sardonic, and the
sort of picks each of them up and rotates them around telekinetically, examining them. These are nice. Azar likes these. I think 300 dragons. Lazavi will pay for all of them.
That would be a decent deal, but you did mention possibly trading these for a diamond, perhaps. I think that could be a quite interesting trade. I've something in mind for one.
Ah, yes. Lazavi could consider this. So a diamond comes floating out of his little portal. It looks like a 300 gold diamond. Yeah, sorry, this is Elder Scrolls Online. Diamonds are worth 0 gold. That's right, Explode. Yes. Lazavi could trade this boring diamond for these interesting stones.
You see how the different hues, just the variety of them, just the way they sort of work with each other. I mean, even if you consider the way that they would look sort of displayed with the tiger's eye gems, that would be, quite a lovely display indeed.
Yes.
As opposed to, let's say a rather plain, translucent, something such as a diamond that, Who really wants to see one of those? I mean, besides one that would actually have a divine use for it.
Many people do value diamonds, however. They are considered the king of gems.
This is true. This is quite true. Which is rather ironic when you compare it to the others.
Razavi will give you this diamond for these stones.
I was wondering if perhaps you might have something just a little bit larger. I don't think this one would quite satisfy my aims.
This one is not good enough for your god?
Well, you see, in order to be able to pry death's grip from someone, you just need a little bit more force, and you can. The way diamonds act, it's sort of like divine butter. Death has the grip, and
He's going to take his hand and kind of wrap it around his other wrist.
and Death's grip is really tight, and you see, the larger the diamond, the more sort of divine butter gets applied to it, and it just ends up slipping off, just with enough faith and with enough divine diamond butter. The hand just slips right off, and then it just becomes null and void, and the person lives once more.
What's the inspiration for that? I see. I did not realize that it worked this way. Make a persuasion check. Oh, hey, that's pretty good.
Nice. Especially for a -1 for him is awesome.
Yeah.
Much better than mine, given that we have the same modifier.
All right. Well, Razavi does have this one gem. The one diamond goes back into his portal, and another one comes out that's significantly larger, but it's kind of rough cut and very flawed. This diamond is very ugly. Still has a good value because of its size, but not very refined. Razavi does not particularly care for it. Still, though, it is worth much more than the stones you have offered me.
Sort of kind of looks at it and wonders if it would satisfy the component of raised dead.
It would.
Yes, I see. Looking at it there, and especially the bit of an off color of it, you can kind of see the divine butter in it, just waiting to kind of come out. Even if it's sort of a diamond in the rough. But
Razavi cannot
think
see
of it.
this.
He just wants to spread the divine butter.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
I suppose it perhaps requires a certain level of faith, or perhaps even dwarven faith, to kind of hone in on it. But, well, I did offer you those tiger's eyes before, which you did pay. I would be willing to give you back those dragons for it. If you believe that would be more of a fair trade for you.
You drive a hard bargain. I don't know. Tell me again why it is so important for you to receive this stone.
Well, as I was mentioning, it's actually in this application of divine butter that, well, when I came here, first time, we were trapped in that vestibule there, before the wards completely closed down, and, well, there were a few people that were sort of carousing a bit, and, jumping up and down the well. I suppose it's one of Durnan's odd brews, or perhaps they were under some sort of enchantment, but, well, they were sort of leapfrogging up and down, and then one of them just didn't make it back up. And, well, when we went down, I went and I saw his corpse down there, and, well, coming back up, I felt like I couldn't just leave it there. I had to bring him back up with me, and, as I rose there, it's back before he made that platform, that larger platform, which I believe I suggested, by the way. But anyway, I was walking up back up to the portal, with him, just one final journey, with his corpse on. I said, "Don't worry, it's all right. We're all gonna make it back up, we're all going to be okay." And, well, I haven't quite been able to satisfy that yet, but it's my intent for that to happen, and this rather flawed, albeit large stone would be able to satisfy that.
Let me see. Alright, make another persuasion check.
I'll burn an inspiration for that.
Okay.
I think that's fair. You got one in the conversation. Yeah.
True.
Alright. He says, "Very well. Razavi is not heartless, even though Razavi is literally heartless. Razavi
Yes.
still has a metaphorical heart, so to speak. Razavi will give you this ugly stone for the 4 stones. You can keep your dragons."
Thank you very much. I appreciate that greatly.
So he makes the trade, whisking the other gems away into his portal and depositing the 500 gold diamond in front of you.
Sardick will go ahead and handle it, and he'll sort of feel it and go,
Yes, I know I can do it with this one. This would have just enough oomph to be able to do it, and just cause Death's hand to just slip away. If you'd like to watch, you're more than welcome to it. Probably would take me about an hour.
Razavi says, "Actually, I would like to watch. Razavi is curious to see how this divine butter works." Alright, so you guys can take the tourmaline, the zircon, the sardonic, and the jade chunk off of your bag of holding.
Alright.
And you're now
Are you
in
going to keep the
possession-
10 platinum, or should I mark it off the bag as well?
given the chance, he would return the 10 platinum.
Okay, I won't take it off yet, but if you decide to keep it, let me know.
Okay.
So, what else?
Sardick will go and head back down to the bottom there, and he'll have the diamond in his hand, as he kind of turns it around with interesting wonder, as he sort of mentally is sort of going over the procedures for Raised Dead in his mind. He'll see Roscoe over at the table still working on the map and go, well, I did it. It's quite amazing. Just for those 4, I was able to get this. And this should just be enough to do it. You mentioned watching. Actually, Razavi's going to be coming down and watch as well. He seems to be interested in the procedure.
Sure. Yeah, Roscoe's going to do like the sort of final touches on the map with Katrin I was it. Katrin, do you want to come too? Should be interesting.
What, to watch him bring that noble guy back to life?
Yeah, that doesn't happen every day.
Oh. Yeah, okay, sure.
Is Azar around?
I no one's asked what I've been doing. It's okay.
That means it's a blank book. You can do whatever you want to. Aside from leave the tavern, I don't think that's okay.
Yeah. Azar will, I don't know, be hanging out with Volo, some shit like that.
Roscoe will grab Azar and be like, "Oh, come on, Sardick's gonna bring someone back from the dead. You should."
Ooh. Cool.
So probably a little crowd at this point is gathering as like word spreads from people like overhearing.
Yeah, kind of seeing people, coming by and, rather interested in it, Eventually, it's kind of going to even make Sardick even more excited, and he's going to invoke thaumaturgy and sort of call out, but not scream out, but call out so it can kind of be heard.
For any interested, as omen of this cow appearing through the wards and coming and amidst our midst, come see the Hathorian bounty, as I bring one back from the dead with the might of her grace and her divine benevolence.
You're announcing this to who? The whole tavern?
He's thaumaturging. He's getting there's a
Oh my
crowd
God.
appearing, and he's feeling really, he's feeling really amped up.
Durnan says, "What are you yelling about?"
You ought to know also, you're going to have a vacancy in your basement. It's time for the one who's dead to come back to life.
Alright, I suppose. And everybody's kind of now watching you.
Is the cow watching him?
Cow has now been woken up from his slumber and his makes a mooing sound.
Has he shit on the ground yet?
No, actually he hasn't.
Well, Vic must be happy.
You realize that the cow's stomach is actually probably completely empty, because the only thing that Kaleem the Weasel had eaten in a long time was just that one little good berry.
And I guess it's possible that the stomach didn't get transmuted exactly 1-to-1, so it could just be an empty cow stomach.
Yeah.
Well, great. Now we have a starving cow.
Starving cow. Alright. So, people are looking with great interest now that you've attracted all of this attention.
I'm just so ready for this guy to be a complete shitlord.
So Sardick will go ahead and retrieve the body of the noble from the basement.
Alright, so you're gonna go down and get the body and bring it up to the tavern?
Unless the people are going down with him. If they go down with him, he'll be happy to do it right there.
Well, who wants to go down with him? Among all of you.
Ara would go.
I'll go down with Azar. Will go down with him because Azar is always interested in displays of magic and the like.
Katrin says, "Oh yeah, I want to see this."
Roscoe will go down, and because it's dim light, he'll accidentally turn invisible.
Nice. Durnan's like, "Everybody else, just just stay here. We don't need to go down there in a big old crowd in my cellar. You got your group. You can go down there and do it, but don't make any messes or anything.
No, of course not. This'll be removing a mess, actually.
The cow insists on going down.
Nice.
I think we need to add a picture of a cow to the list of NPCs on the Yawning Portal picture.
Oh, you're right. We totally do.
Not urgent, but definitely needs to happen.
Best use of
Absolutely.
polymorph yet.
We can replace the whole Red Saber crowd. There's like one big stretched out cow.
And I presume Rasavi's going down as well.
Oh yes, and Razavi's going down as well.
What about Adamus?
Well, yeah, Adamus goes anywhere that Razavi goes.
I was gonna say, faithful servitor.
Absolutely. So everyone's going down, in other words. There's not anybody that's not going down.
Seems so.
You're taking Varys down there to witness this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's educational.
Alright, so you get to the basement with the cow. You see that Maloon War Dragon's body is still down there. You used Gentle Repose on it, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay, so they're both still Gentle Repose, both bodies.
Sardick takes a look at Maloon's body for a moment and considers, but his intent is set, so he's going to go ahead and take the noble and lay him out along the floor there. If there's a low table or something to that effect, he'll use that.
Okay, there's not a table.
Okay, that's fine. And he's going to go ahead and he'll kneel down before him, and he'll have the shield of Hathor sort of over by his chest, in effect, as he's sort of sitting there with him. And he has the diamond there in both of his hands. And sort of as he started to do with Midge the first time, he'll once again invoke the Leave, wake up, and let the cloak of life cling to your bones, wake up, But this time he ends up doing it longer for, during this hour, and he invokes a litany upon the glory of Hathor and such, and you can kind of see that there's some images that kind of flow from the diamond, and you see that there's these bulls that appear that come and sort of ram spectral pillars, just these sort of visions that are appearing, and slowly there's like this hand that's grasping this one pillar, and it's slowly beginning to lose its grip. And eventually at the end, he sees
sort of reaching a crescendo, he goes, "Rise again as you were before. No wound to be suffered anymore. Neither reaver's sickle, nor butcher's cleaver, nor set's middling, nor mad cow fever shall prevent your frolicking in pastures green, where flows nearby the serpentine stream. The Milky Way mirrors, the stars witness true, by horn and by hoof, by udder and by moo." And finally, you see the tears are just streaking down his face, and they pull into the diamond, and it strikes the diamond, and once again, the diamond turns sort of milky and white and buttery, and you just see this sort of butter drip upon the noble. And as it happens, the wound begins sealing up and just knits itself together into one unflawed body again. And by the grace of Hathor, he lives.
He's milking this.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
Totally. Okay. Well, first of all, inspiration. The butter stories he was telling weren't a joke.
I imagine this is like something Sardick has told us in campfires before, and we're all like, okay.
Katja just looks at Roscoe and she's like, I don't even believe anything that I'm seeing right now.
Just wait. Let's see what happens.
Alright, so as your ritual is reaching its crescendo, Sardick, you start to feel like something is wrong. You can feel the soul, the spirit of this man. It is present. It is hovering about the body, but you feel like a resistance, like something is preventing the soul from re-entering the body. Do you want to try to force it, or let it go?
Ooh, that's difficult.
The question is, will he still have the diamond if he decides to let it go?
I can't answer that.
Reckon
Does
big
Sardick
bastard.
understand the nature of the resistance?
Make a Arcana check or religion. Well, no, this one will be Arcana.
Roscoe also has detect magic. Is there any other magic auras or anything like that associated around Sardick beyond what he has cast?
What you can see is you can see his magic happening, but now you can see the magical aura of his ritual is like, it's like twisting, it's like distorting. It looks like it's about to like fragment.
Huh.
Should have carried him down into the dungeon and resurrected him.
So, with your Arcana roll, Sardick, you don't feel like there's some completely other force here. You just feel like the magic that permeates the place that you're in has interwoven itself with the divine magic that you're calling down, and they're sort of blending and roiling around each other, and it's kind of preventing the ritual from completing. You think you can like pour more of your energy into it, and it'll require a roll to try to force it to happen, or you can just choose to let it go. Then again, you're not 100% sure what will happen if you do that either. Oh, those rolls, yeah. Yeah, write those down.
Sardick will kind of call upon his faith as he...
Something's trying to interfere here. No, show them your beneficence, Mother. Show them that that mere arcane shenanigans are no match for the glory of faith.
So he's resisting. He's going to attempt to force.
Okay. Make a religion check with advantage because you are bolstered by the presence of a cow being here. All right. The spirit begins disentangling itself from the twisted energy of the mythal and begins to flow into the body itself. But then the body shudders and it coughs and the spirit comes back out from it, and now it is black. And it begins to materialize in front of everyone so that everyone can see it. And there's this black, shadowy shape that is coalescing into existence. And then, suddenly, within the blackness, two burning blue eyes appear. And they are eyes filled with malice and hate. And that's where we're going to stop for tonight.
I knew that was happening.
Sardick, you just brought Sauron into existence. Great.
Nice.
Is it too late to portent die that?
Too late to what?
To use portent dice? It seems so.
Yeah, it's too late. So that's where we'll stop for tonight. Next time when we come back, we'll deal with the fallout of the... I did warn you that weird things were happening with the magic here.
That's true. That's true. I was kind of hoping that the being in the cellar would be low enough to kind of get away from that, but obviously not.
Alright. We'll see what happens next time. I'm going to do my little closing here. I'm just ending it a little bit early tonight because I got to go to work a little earlier, so... But, yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. So, thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Dungeons & Dragons. This has been Beneath the Yawning Portal, Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We'll see you next time.